Alright, so this is not going to be a traditional talks video. So I'm basically going to kind of get to the point, but it's also just because I don't think it's appropriate for this topic that I actually try to be enticing in terms of structure. I'm kind of doing this more out of infuriation, and I'm going to have to try to do this in one take because I don't think it's appropriate to do this in several takes. But yeah, if you didn't see the title, I kind of actually I'm going to talk about Seunghan's case because again, I think it's kind of infuriating just kind of witnessing all this and such because so I know this has nothing to do with it, but like I think it was back in June I actually had an idea for the next video to be a Rise video because I wanted to talk about my unconventional ways of how I've been listening to Rise's songs, because I'm just going to get this out of the way. I haven't been following Rise a lot just because I'll see their like teasers, but I haven't actually have watched any of their material. I've heard snippets of their songs, but that's just because of Superstar SM. That's what I was gonna try to get to with that video, but I ended up doing Cosmic or talking about Cosmic instead. But because a few days ago it was announced that like Seunghan was gonna return to Rise, I was like, oh, this would be the perfect opportunity to do that Rise video, despite the fact that I have another video that I'm psyched to like put together. I really wanted to put this. I was going to sit down and record this Rise video because I was like, wow, SM actually did the right thing and is actually standing up for Seunghan. But I just heard a few hours ago SM backtracked that statement and now he's actually going to leave the group. And that is stupid. Because if I have to reiterate this entire situation for those that don't know, I apologize. I did not double check on information. I'm going off in my head, so I heavily apologize if some information is going to be wrong. And in that case, I might omit some information that I'm well aware of. Like obviously not like the ones that are important, but like just minor stuff. Basically, I think from what I can recall, I think it was in 2022, Seunghan was announced as a SM rookie along with Ensuk. And then obviously it was like in late 2023, he was revealed to be a member of Rise. But then I think basically during the entire lead up to Memories, some information of his got leaked by someone. And basically the information that got leaked of him was that he was in a relationship, or he had a girlfriend, and that I think it was that, I mean in general, is that he smoked. But I don't know if it was like underage smoking or such. I think it was just in general he just smoked. I'm going to get this out of the way. I don't know why everyone's kind of treating this as a problem, especially in Korea. I thought it was common knowledge that like the majority of Korean men do smoke. Obviously not all of them, but it's like a 70 or 60% and such. But obviously the one that's more infuriating is the fact that he was in a relationship. Because if you don't know, obviously within K-pop culture, for some reason companies keep monopolizing on this parasocial nature between the idol and the fan, because they want it, because to cater more money, they want the fan to believe that they actually have a chance with an idol. So basically at any chance an idol announces they're in a relationship of any kind, most of the time fans flip out. as we can bring out some SM examples of Sunmin of Super Junior being in hiatus for almost 10 years now, all because after he finished his enlistment, he got married. Or I think he got married before. I don't remember. But basically, because Sunmin got married, Korean elves boycott the heck out of any time. Or like, Korean elves have made it so that Sunmin can no longer participate in Super Junior activities. And then Chen's case, which is how these situations should be handled, is that obviously he got it, like he announced that he was getting married, and a lot of Korean XLLs were trying to boycott that. But luckily in that case, they failed, because obviously Chen is still in the group. He's just not in SM anymore, luckily. So I think before Memories got announced, I think SM did put out a statement. SM and Seunghan put out a statement. Just basically, Seunghan obviously was apologizing. He didn't need to. I'm gonna say that a lot. He didn't need to apologize, and he just simply said like, "Yeah, I regret my actions and such." But SM at least was like, "We're gonna move forward and such," obviously, because it's, at that point, it's not fair to bench him that early when their song hasn't even released yet. So then Memories gets released, and then weeks after was Get a Guitar, which they was just technically when they officially debuted. But then Talk Saxy happened and things got worse. I think it was still the fact that Korean Brights, where they weren't, I don't think they had that fandom name at the time, but I think Korean Brights were still boycotting Rise because Seunghan was present, all because they couldn't be parasocial to him. Okay. So, am I going to get intruded? So then, it was like, what, 2 weeks into Talk Saxy promotions, or a week after? I don't remember. SM had to put out another statement, to which they basically gave in to the Korean Brights and were like, "Alright guys, we're gonna put Seunghan on an indefinite hiatus," which is obviously the worst term you can hear out of SM. Because we know what that means. That's purgatory. And then again, Seunghan had to put out basically the same statement again, which is just dumb that they keep making him do that and such. So, obviously, up to this month, I think it would have been almost a year or 10 months, people said, since Seunghan has been put in an indefinite hiatus. And then it was like a few days ago, I saw apparently it was misreported that he was leaving, but then it was like reaffirmed, no, he's coming back. And to which I was like, oh, cool. Like, that's really cool of SM and such, like what I said before and such. And, he, I mean, I think Seunghan did basically put out another apology, but was also reaffirming like, like, thanks to like the other members and such, like I have actually have the courage to like, join with this like next chapter of Rise and such. But then the Korean Brights went at it again, or the really, I'll say toxic ones. They decided to purchase funeral wrenches. They basically decided to buy like funeral wreaths. how do you pronounce this? Wreaths. Okay. They basically decided to purchase a lot of those and just put them in front of the company doors because they were like, excuse me, they were trying to proclaim, oh yeah, like, it's so unfortunate Rise is dead to us because SM added that evil member back to our group. And it's just like, what are you guys talking about? This is so stupid. But because, like, at first, the reports we were hearing is that SM was potentially suing the people that were doing that, or the fans that were doing that and such. And it was like, yeah, like, cool. Like, SM's actually like, standing up towards them. But then, like, what? Like, a few hours, like, not a few hours ago, it's like a couple hours ago, I've heard that they put out another statement, and they're like, I didn't bother reading it because it was just kind of like, okay, no, I'm not doing this. But yeah, they basically announced, yep, Seunghan's leaving, and it's just, it's I just don't like that SM. I don't like SM. I don't like the fact that like SM always gives in to caters towards this like demographic of the fans, because they're basically enabling this toxic behavior. And like, again, they have always done this for a while and such. Like, there's too much examples to like bring up, but like, it's just super unfortunate that like Seunghan basically, like, he barely got to like kickstart his career, and now it's ruined because of all these people, and all because, like, technically, I don't know. Again, I'm going all over the place, but like, the fact that he got blamed for his own private information being leaked, like, that's absolutely ridiculous. The person that people should be blaming is the person that leaked it, not him. I know, like, the only thing I didn't bring up was a live stream that him and another idol had, but I don't know if that had any. I think that live stream came out during Talk Saxy. I don't know, but I just want to bring that up because I think that is the most. I think that is the majority of it. But it's just like, I don't know. I think it's kind of dumb of how. I think it's generally kind of dumb that like the majority of the Korean brights are treating him as if he was a criminal, as if he committed like a felony or something. And it's like, why are you pointing this anger at him when like literally NCT just recently dealt with that with Tail? Because like Tail's case, I felt like was the only time SM actually handled something correctly, and I'm glad that like they got rid of him quickly and such. Like, I'm sorry for mentioning him, but like, that's why I feel like fans are kind of like, people are treating it as if like Seunghan was like remotely close to what he has done. Because like, Seunghan didn't do anything. All he did, like, yeah, call him out on smoking, but again, that's just how that society is in Korea. But like, the relationship, it's just like, well, the thing is that we don't even know if like he was actually like dating when he was training, or like if he was still in that relationship, because I'm pretty sure at the point he debuted he was no longer in the relationship. But like, the thing is that people are acting like it's not like him being in a relationship distracted from him training, or like his like was like a distraction in his trainee days. Honestly, we should compliment him for being able to balance the like having a relationship and during the training process and such. But no, it's just the fact that, the fact that he had a pre-existing relationship is like damaging his image. And it's like, it's so bad. Because like I guess if I don't know, like either way, if you're an establishing artist or not, basically in Korea, having a relationship is like bad. Because do we all remember Karina's case? Like Karina's case was pretty bad. like like at first, like I thought people were welcoming of it, but no, like people were again being really like toxic about it and parasocial about it. And it's just like we cannot have anything good. And like people were like randomly calling out the whatever the actor that like she was with, because like I think the thing was that they weren't even in a relationship. I think people were saying they were in a situationship, or like they were going to potentially enter a relationship, but obviously because of all the backlash, they had to stop it. And like again, SM forced Karina to do a letter, like write a letter, which I think then she took down and such. But again, it's like I think in a way I kind of wish Sunhan's situation was like Karina's, because again, like at the end, like Karina's case wasn't damaging. Like it wasn't damaging, and again, people were welcomed with it. But I guess Sunhan's case is because he was an upcoming art idol in a group. I guess the circumstances are different, but I don't know. like, because I think I also heard too, like, one of the members, I think it was Wonbin, like, I think he wrote up a letter just before they announced Sunhan leaving again. I think he wrote up a letter just like talking about them getting Sunhan back on the team and such. But like again, it got deleted quickly, which is dumb. But like I don't know, it's just this is such an infuriating case, because now Rise is going to lose half of its fandom. Right, all the like basically all the genuine people that actually did enjoy Rise are obviously not going to listen to Rise anymore, because now again SM's just enabling this toxic behavior as they've always have done to all their groups and such. But like it's just not a good space anymore, basically, I think is what I'm getting, because like basically anyone that wants Sunhan is basically going to get like exercise. I don't That's not what I want to go for, but they're going to be like hunted down and such. And it's just I just don't like that SM like it doesn't matter. Like I think when SM sees like that they're potentially going to lose some money, then they basically fall back on that like side and such, because I think that was probably the case of as to why they did this, of just like, oh no, we're gonna lose a lot of fans all because we're gonna have this one member that has barely been in the group for like 2 months. Welp. Because like I think someone did make a good thread on like why this is or like why this catastrophic case was like, or why basically obviously it all leans back to SM. Just like SM basically did it too late. Like they basically added Sunhan too late, because to do it after the first mini album, and I guess basically them gain like increasing in popularity, and then just to add back the one member you basically had took away their success from, and to throw them back in. like, yeah, that is SM's fault because technically, I mean, I think a lot of people were saying they probably should have added him and they should have at least teased him in the epilogue repackage, but now they can't do that, and it's just like now Rise's career is just stumped down all because of SM's dumb decisions and like the toxic uh fan base that basically SM is enabling. And like the thing too with like the Korean brides, it's not all Korean brides, like because there's like the majority of Korean brides are like very supportive of Seunghan and such. It's just, again, I think in the case of fandoms, it's just the very loud and rich, I guess, fans. Because again, it's just kind of ridiculous that these fans will go all the way to essentially try to prepare a funeral in front of the SM company. But yeah, I think that's kind of everything I wanted to say. I'm just like, this is just kind of mind-boggling to like deal with and such, because I've always somewhat kept up with his case just because like I did think it was kind of dumb and just kind of really wrongful that like he had to like endure all this. Because like I just want to say, like, I do hope Seunghan does get the success that he definitely deserves and such after all of this. He did not deserve any of this at all. And like I feel really bad for the members too, or for the remaining other 6 members and such, because to basically being forced to basically having their one friend being forced away from them because of the fans and because of your company, it's just like that's not it. Like I don't know how better I can word that, but like I hope Seunghan could like recover from this and such, and just oh, I don't know how to word this. Just I think that's kind of all I can say. There's like another stronger word, but again, I'm also going off the cuff. Just cause like again, like I know it's typical of SM to do stuff like this, but it's like SM just, this is like one of their biggest fumbles ever. But is there anything else? Because I mean, at this point now, it's just like I kind of would want to say like, yeah, I expect more artists to leave that company, because obviously they don't want to tolerate this and such. But also, I think it's just, again, unfortunate for Rise's case, because there was actually some songs of Rise I actually wanted to actually listen to in full, but I think at this case it's just like, okay, I'm probably going to have to leave it at the minimum of, again, in my case, of just hearing it from Superstar SM, because, you know, reasonably so, it just feels kind of wrong to like officially support them, especially with what SM has basically of their stance of just basically like always siding with the toxic fans because they are the ones that give them more money than the genuine fans and such.